When you was doing all the acting, and you said you was in your low point, did the acting help you get out of your low point, or it made it worse?
Hell no, I was still trying to smoke while I was acting and all that shit, and then it was like I was overacting. I was green in a lot of shit I was doing. I did not like my performances, so I wouldn't watch it. How High is what really opened me up, because that was just me being me.
Yeah.
So I was having fun with that shit, but I couldn't watch that shit at first, because I was scared. Shit, like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
But then it just caught on for me, because I seen people like Mos Def kill it, but at this point I had no idea that he had trained. Common, but this is way before Common was killing it anyway, but Mark Wahlberg, I'm looking like, the fuck, man?
LL.
And then Will was it for me. When I seen LL, his first role that I ever seen, 'cause I'm a big LL fan, his first role I ever seen him in was a movie called The Hard Way with James Woods
And
Michael J. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was a cop. And I thought that shit was so fucking cool, because he still had the K go on, nigga. He still had the K go on as a cop. Word. And it's like, them niggas, man, it's like they take that shit serious. And Pac, it was like, even with Pac, to a certain extent, right? He killed Juice. But after that, you could tell that Pac, with the exception of maybe Poetic Justice, because John Singleton, who I've worked with, just brings something out of it. But Pac's work after that was, and no disrespect to his legacy, but lackluster at best. He wasn't there. He wasn't present in certain movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even in Above the Rim, where he should have been in his element, I didn't feel like he gave the performance that I wanted from Tupac, especially after seeing Juice. And it may be my ignorance, you know what I mean? The movie's still good, but I thought Tupac didn't, I wanted him to be the star of the movie, and he wasn't, in my eyes.
That's debatable. But
yeah,
I'm not mad.
Depending on how you look at it, because he, like I said, Gridlock, which is another thing. There was moments in there where it was like, this nigga brilliant. Then there was moments where it was like he probably showed up to set late that day and just ain't feeling it. These things happen, but this is only things that you notice. And, well, people will notice it anyway. I wasn't even trained then, and I wasn't even thinking about acting then, but it was like I could see it.
Right.
It was like, that don't feel right. This just don't feel right to me.
Had you met him by then?
No. Hell no.
But then you're just using your eye.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. Like, this don't feel like Pop right now. Like,
we talk about that in MC circles. When your name comes up, we had a big discussion with a bunch of writers, and I remember one of the main topics was who's never been sunned on a guest feature, or like a feature. Like who's never been sunned. And your name, it was you,
on
Luda.
records they heard.
It was you, Luda.
Yeah.
You've never been sunned. And then the conversation came around to the only person who's ever got the better of Meth on a feature is Red.
Redman.
Red's the only person who's ever rhymed next to Meth and like edged them out.
And that's because me and Decade did a lot of records together. Because if Rebel had the look that a lot of us had gotten in the beginning, there's no reason why he, as opposed to being, and not saying taking this a slight against MC Ren, I'm saying like MC Ren was known as a lyricist in NWA, but he was never as big as Eazy, never as big as Ice Cube.
Right, right.
Lyricist. Off top, we know how raw that nigga is, but you got Ray, Ghost, Jizza, RZA.
Right.
He just got lost in the shuffle. If he would have got on some of those big records with some of these other artists, but we had a strict outlook on things. We're not gonna lend any of this money out to other people. Some people listened, others didn't. Myself included. I went and did The What with Biggie. I snuck and did that shit. You know what I'm saying? I went and did How High with Redman. I was supposed to get another single off of my album, which I didn't get because I did the How High record. You know what I mean? And but I mean that shit went platinum on the soundtrack. So.
Did you record The What in the studio with Biggie?
Yeah. Tracy came and picked me up from my crib. 66 Benjamin Drive. Don't harass the people that live there now. But she came and picked me up from my crib, drove me over there and shit, and it was, I can't remember where the fucking studio was and shit, but I remember it had couches and shit in there. Easy Mo B was there, Puffy was there, there was a little dining table where you could eat at, and Big was there, and we both sat there and wrote our rhymes. And there was a lot of snapping going on. Big used to snap on Puff all the fucking time.
Really?
All the time, but Big snapped on everybody. You know what I mean? Lil C's used to get it too.
Yeah.
He'll tell you though. He'll tell you though. Them niggas had jokes, man. Funny niggas. And when we was in there, we wrote the verses down and shit, spit our shit. Then
So
Puffy
Biggie
wanted to
wrote
play-
it down?
Yeah. And me and Puffy played a little torture and shit, then Tracy took me home. And I was like, man, when niggas hear this, it was like, man, when niggas hear this shit, it's
I'm
gonna be
not
on.
gonna let you speed through that, man. I'm not gonna let you speed through that. Not gonna let you speed through that. Cause you guys went back and forth.
Yeah.
When you were hearing, okay, all right, cause the what is a testimony of what are you talking about? You were jotting. That record is like,
I get it. The process. By the time I got there, Biggie's verse was written, and he told me that he wanted to end it with, "You can't mess with M.E." and I was supposed to go T.H.O. after M.E. But I overlapped him because it didn't fall on beat doing it that way.
Right.
That's where the T.H.O.D. man. Here I am. I'll be damned if this ace and shit. And I wrote that shit. That shit was quick as fucking. Who was I biting then? Who flowed? Nas.
nah.
I was biting Nas flow. I'll be damned if this ain't some shit. Time to spread the butter lyrics over harmony grids. And it was like that, just that trap. I be the jet, broken up into my own shit because it's, coming where you rest, that surrender. Step inside the ring, you the number one contender. Looking cold booty like your pussy in December. Niggas stop snitching.
Button up your lippin'. For method, all you're getting is a can of ass whipping.
Hey,
I be kicking. You son, you doing all the yapping. Acting as if it can't happen. Your front and got me mad enough to touch something.
Who wrote?
I got
who
that from
wrote-
MOP. Acting as if it can't
It can't
happen.
happen, yeah.
Fame was like, I'll make it happen. I love them niggas from day one. How about some hardcore?
Yeah.
I was like, them niggas is scary.
Wait, who wrote?
Yeah.
Who wrote? I got more Glocks than
Than
texting
texting
you.
you.
I make it hot, niggas.
Won't
So
even
he
stand
asked you to
next
say
to
that
you.
part.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's how he wrote though, and I believe he wrote a lot of Junior Mafia's rhymes. Probably wrote some of Kim's shits, but Kim is a writer herself though. Don't sleep on Kim.
Right.
But yeah, he wrote that. He had me say that part.
How you feel about ghostwriting?
I don't give a fuck.
My man. Thank you.
I mean, I don't give a fuck, but when you want to talk about top 5 MCs, you already eliminated yourself.
Thank you.
You've
it is.
eliminated yourself.
Thank
There it
you.
is.
But
We
now,
do.
with these top 5s and shit, it's like motherfuckers it's like they're trying to trump niggas with, if it's MCs, rapper, different, I get that. But if you got MCs, you going off lyrical content. I don't give a fuck how many records this motherfucker sold. Or how many what his influence was on the fucking fashion industry and shit like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Certain niggas, when you hear their verses, you pay attention.
Right.
Because you know this nigga about to say some shit.
Right.
Facts. For real. And that's the whole Griselda. So when I heard Griselda record, I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
And you sit up real fast. And whoever they got on the fucking record, 38 Special,
Right.
Shooter, you know what I mean?
Right.
All them niggas.
Rolling.
Flea Lord. You know what I'm talking about?
Rock Marcy,
Rock,
et cetera.
Rock is a genius, whether people know it or not. You want to talk about, niggas be talking about underrated and all that shit. No, I'm not underrated. I've made my bones and there's people out there that Rock Marciano under fucking rated.
Yeah,
like a
for real.
motherfucker, man. It be niggas like that I want to see hit big and be like, running the fucking culture. Like niggas follow that shit.
His production is.
And he from Hempstead.
His production is. You should. What?
This hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the